Who is oppressing them? All you can talk, oh, what happened about Hamas in 7th of October? Fuck all happened. Nothing happened. That thing happened. If you're going and raping my family for last 100 years, you think I'm going to let you go? This is just a wake-up call. They can kill 10,000, 20,000 Palestinians, but tomorrow there will be 120,000. You kill one, you get 100 more.
Well, Sheila, I'm just wondering if that might be the grandfather of Machine Gun Earring Girl that we encountered in Mississauga last month. I say that because of the anger. I say that because of the justification of murdering more than 1,400 innocent Israelis, wounding more than 4,200. Right now, I believe the number that's being bandied around is 242 hostages. One is a 10-month-old baby. He was taken when he was 9 months. I can't even imagine what kind of care he's being given. But, you know, Sheila, it speaks to the bigger picture. The narrative right now is ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Excuse me, there's that little issue of those 242, hopefully, alive people who are hostages. Why isn't that part of the discussion when it comes to a ceasefire, the release of those hostages?
Because, as this guy just said, they're F all. They don't mean anything. Civilian lives don't mean anything to the other side of this. And this guy was the star of a lot of content over the weekend, including now a bit of a manhunt. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's go to this second video because this prompted me to send a bit of an editorial directive to some of our staff going forward. The second half of this discussion with this absolute maniac who would justify rape and murder and abduction of little children and the elderly and mothers. So let's hear from this guy.
If the West feels so sorry for the Israeli Zionists, why don't they give a place in Germany? Why don't they go to Hitler's back garden and make an occupation there? Then they will know what kind of people these are. Why every so many 100 years the Zionists get slaughtered? Because Hitler knew how to deal with these people. They probably made a program so they can create a state of Israel in the expense of Palestinian Muslims' blood.
Oh, wow. The year is almost at an end, and we have found yet another inappropriate use of the Hitler card. You know, Sheila, as I've always said, if you're going to invoke Hitler, make sure you're talking about somebody who is hell-bent on world conquest and engineering a genocide. Otherwise, it's offside. But
no, I think, David, I'm going to correct you. I think that's the appropriate use of the Hitlerian comparison, because he is calling for genocide. He is calling for genocide of the Jews. He's saying Hitler knew how to deal with these people being the Jews, exactly how he wants Hamas to deal with them. I'll be quiet. I'll let you finish your thought.
Oh, no, I think that's a great observation. This is how, and we've talked about this before, Sheila, when it came to the Nazi genocide of the Jews, it was something that was not publicized. It was something that the Nazis wanted to keep secret from their own people. That's why you see the death camps aren't even in Germany. These prisoners were railroaded out of the country. But with these, and we saw this on October 7th, there was high-def GoPro videos uploaded to the internet saying, look at this death and destruction, look at this beheading, look at this raping, look at this arson, look at this murder. They have no shame. And in fact, it's a badge of honor for them to massacre Jews. So you know what? I'm rethinking what I just said. I think they're out Hitlering Hitler because these people, if they had the means to do so, are you telling me, Sheila, they wouldn't put their resources towards concentration camps and death camps and trying to get rid of, what is it called again? Oh, yeah, the Jewish problem once and for all?
Yeah, I'm done listening to people say, these are pro-Palestinian protests. No, that's like saying that a Nazi march is just pro-Germany. these people are advocating an open call to genocide. You look at their chants and put them in context together. They say ceasefire now and then from the river to the sea.
Yep.
So what they want to do is have the Jews put down their weapons so that it's easy to ethnically cleanse them from the Jordan to the Mediterranean, which is the sum of the state of Israel. That's a call to genocide. That's ethnic cleansing. And it's not just a cute little chant. It's not a liberation chant. This guy told you what this is all about. And you know what else? He's standing there screaming at the top of his lungs. Did anybody around him within his own side walk forward and say, hey, buddy, take her down a notch? Like, let's come down from the ethnic cleansing and maybe get down to ethno-state. Never even got down there. Like, not a single person said, well, I'm not sure we want this guy in our march. Contrast that with the Freedom Convoy. There was that planted guy walking around with the Nazi flag that you only saw for moments and never saw him again. But the convoy itself was like, get out of here. We don't want anything to do with you. You have no place here with us. That guy was perfectly in line with the rest of that march.
Another observation when I was looking at that video, Sheila, was the fact that, and I'm sure it was the case with the pro-Hamas demonstrations in the Greater Toronto area on Saturday, I couldn't see a single person wearing a poppy. I saw a sign with 2 cardboard poppies on it, but I didn't see an actual individual wearing a poppy. In fact, some of these barbarians, if you recall earlier this month, tried to beat up a 70-year-old veteran in Edinburgh, Scotland, because he was selling poppies. Why? Well, all I can do is speculate, Sheila. The poppy is not a representation of Sharia law, of Islamist states, of what is important to these pro-Hamas demonstrators. So there he is. I believe his name is Jim Henderson. He's 78 years old. And I can't think of anything lower than a volunteer, a senior citizen. And, good for Jim. When he saw the mob coming towards him, he folded up his display and tried to get away, not for his own personal safety, but so they wouldn't steal the donations of all the poppies that he had sold. That's the mettle of that man versus these young savages that tried to beat him up or do even worse until some rail workers came to his aid. The other thing I didn't notice was any flags of England or Union Jacks. And again, I see this I think in all the pro-Hamas demonstrations I've covered, Sheila, I think I've seen one Canadian flag, one. And it's kind of funny because I was at Christie Pitts yesterday for a pro-Israel demonstration about getting the hostages back. And yes, there were tons of Israeli flags there. But you know what? There was also a significant percentage of Canadian flags. What does that tell you, Sheila?
Yeah. You know what? I'm remiss to even call these pro-Hamas or pro-Gaza rallies because they really aren't. They are anti-Israel rallies. Yeah. They want Israel to be wiped off the face of the earth. They couldn't care less who does it. Hamas is just the convenient actor right now. If the UN were there to just wipe Israel off the face of the earth, they would be cheering for the United Nations. These are Iranian-backed anti-Israel hate marches on the streets of the Western world, and it is being repackaged as some sort of decolonization liberation movement. And it is one of the craziest, most revolting public relations wins, I think, for the other side that I've ever seen. The Met Police in London are looking for him now, identifying a man from yesterday's anti-Israel rally in London who said that Hitler knew what to do with these people, i.e. the Jews. So now he's under investigation in a rare win for equal policing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the UK police are quite terrible. They really don't police these rallies that are, openly advocating for genocide. Like, look, you can disagree with me. You can be prickly. You can be rude in the public square. That's not a crime. Well, it might be in the UK. However, I disagree with it. But this is one of those rare times where we see both sides being treated equally. Like the UK police. So if you say something mean about trans people, or if you say, like, maybe don't sexualize the children and you hold a sign, they'll come knock on your door, give you trouble. This guy's going to get the same treatment. So I just look forward to the win for equal application of the law.
Hey folks, that was a clip from the daily live stream. I co-hosted Monday to Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Alberta team takes over on Friday. Please tune in. And by the way, we want to hear your 2 cents worth. If you're able to make a minimal $5 donation, we will read your chat on the air live. Thank you.
The winter chill is setting in all across the country, including here in Alberta. You might be able to see my breath, but I've got a solution for that annual problem. It's here on the billboard behind me. Now, normally this billboard tells travelers on Alberta's busiest highway, Highway 2, just south of Edmonton, about our latest causes, our fights for freedom, or books we've published. Today, it's inviting you to join us for some fun in the sun. We're talking about the Rebel News Cruise, a week-long Caribbean cruise departing March 23rd. With your favorite Rebel personalities, including me, Ezra Levant, Alexa Lavoie, David Menzies, and many more. And of course, the Woman of the Year Freedom Convoy leader, my friend Tamara Leach. We depart from Fort Lauderdale. From there, we go to the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and then Mexico. And we're not just bringing your favorite Rebel personalities, we're bringing along some of your favorite thinkers and people you see interviewed all the time on Rebel News. But if you're thinking about booking the cruise, get off the fence and make a decision, because this billboard receives 1.3 million monthly impressions, which means the cruise will fill up fast, and I don't want you to miss it. For all the details about the Rebel News Caribbean Cruise, please go to rebelnewscruise.com. And let's sail away from Trudeau's frosty winter for a week together. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.